Today we're going to look at ProQuest RefWorks. We'll be looking at the ProQuest legacy model for accessibility first. I have this tool here called the Color Contrast Analyzer. I've already checked the text here, the orange text on the white background, and you see that it fails on the luminosity test. And if I take the dropper here and come up to the text on new folder and then the background on new folder, you see it fails on luminosity on this button. If I do the same for the text here on reference and then the background, it also fails. So there's some issues here with the orange text on the white background and the white text on the gray background. To start navigating using only the keyboard, you probably would want to start at the URL. So you press Alt and D to get up to the top there, and then after that you can press the Tab key to go through content. Go through some menu items, and the menu here is stacked so that you have to go through each individual item. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a data folder. I get to the new folder here, I press Enter key, and I type in new data folder. Press Tab a couple times, get to create, press Enter. Now I have in front of me 3 different references that I've imported, and I want to move one of these to that new data folder. This is where I have some problems with the keyboard accessibility feature of RefWorks. So I'm going to press Tab key until I get to the first one, and you see it takes forever. And now I'm at that checkbox, and you see there's the checkbox, and if I press space, it gives me a check. Now I want it to move. The most easy to access folder is going to be this one here, which is the star, which puts things into my list. But I actually need to go and click on this icon right here, and if I press Enter key, it gives me the list. Now what I should be able to do is press the arrow keys and go down through the list. But I'm going to press Tab and see if it works. And it doesn't. So again, press Enter key, and it's supposed to be able to press arrow keys, and it doesn't work with either the Tab key or the down arrow, and it should. What I have to do is I have to use a mouse. So if someone cannot use a mouse, they cannot have the item selected and then move it to their folder by clicking. And see, it didn't even work that time. So I have to do it again with the mouse. And down here it says completed. There is a little problem there with RefWorks. Most everything else works with the keyboard here, but that is a fundamental issue, being able to move files into folders. The workaround is to check your checkbox and then come over here and add it to your list, which will put it in this folder called My List. If you check it and then click on this, it's going to add the item to the My List. So this one is now going to be on My List, and there it is. The next test that I always perform is to see whether the system controls for enlargement works within the application. And since we're using a web page, and in this case we're using Chrome browser, the keystroke on the PC would be Control and plus. And you see the content is enlarging. And everything retains its visual continuity, so there isn't an issue with this at all. The only issue that we've discovered, it relates more to the contrast, as we mentioned, the colors. When using voice activation software, you want to think about testing for all the visual content that you can, and you need to be able to drop down the menus, and you also need to be able to get to combination boxes. And so the areas that I'm going to focus on are these little icons here because they're hard to see. And I'm going to drop one of these down, and I'm going to try to type up here and see if I can get these menus to work. So I'm going to do that all with my voice in the next couple seconds. So we're going to start with search your database, and since we have electrolytes in our search title there, we're going to use that one. So I'm going to start up the software, which I'm using is Drag and Dictate. Mouse grid 2, 8, 7, click, move mouse up, click, electrolytes, mouse grid 2, 9, 7, click. As you see, it did find the article as I was expecting, so we can see that element works really well. We're going to now try a menu. Mouse grid 1, 8, 8, 2, click. Move mouse right, move mouse down, click. So we're able to use our menus. The next thing we want to see if we can drop down the combo box and sort by something different than authors. Mouse grid 5, 4, 2, 8, click, move mouse down, click. And as you can see, I can do that as well. The last thing is to see if I can check or click on the little icons over here on the right. Mouse grid 5, 6, 2, 8, click, click, move mouse right, click, move mouse left, click, go to sleep. So you can see everything is workable with voice activation. The last thing that we would want to do with voice activation is to test whether we can add a new reference. Mouse grid 1, 8, 9, click. We need to type in the information into these fields here, and this article over here on estrogen and cardiovascular dynamics from the Sage Journal is the title, and we want to put it in this box here. I've already opened up the new reference, and we're going to type in this field. Mouse grid 4, 6, click, estrogen and cardiovascular dynamics. Move mouse up, faster, faster, click. Peter Collins, MD. Go to sleep. So it's no problem for us to add the content when creating a new reference. For this last segment, I want to go to an area that I had trouble with using the screen reader specifically. And when I tab on down
tab, tab, tab. RefWorks tab.
I tab down.
Tab, 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 tab.
To create
tab.
bibliography.
Create bibliography link.
When I get to the create bibliography link, I press enter key.
Enter.
And it
RefWorks
asks me what I want to do with it. And if I choose to change it from HTML
tab, tab,
to
combo box. Word for Windows left paren 2004
Word for Windows and
tab, tab, tab. RefWorks web-based bibliographic management software.
and then click create bibliography.
Enter.
You see here in the bottom right it says completed, bibliography is complete. And then it says click here and click here. So let me show you what that looks like for a screen reader. If I go look for the links,
Links list dialog. Links list view. Create bibliography. 150 of 151.
so there are 151 links to go through. And you see
Help.
it doesn't say what click here does. So if I press enter,
Enter. Email file dialog.
it's the
Edit.
click here for
Misspelled
emailing it.
15 and misspelled at gmail.com. Type in text. Escape. Escape.
And what happens is that the person doesn't
Create
know
bibliography from a list of references
what
dialog.
the click here means,
Move
whether
to
they're
the newest
downloading
version of RefWorks from
or emailing,
ProQuest. Visit
and
the
there's
link.
no text that tells the difference. Thank you for watching Points of Access with Phillip. We hope this lesson has helped you understand RefWorks.